Okay, ladies and gentlemen, interest rates, it is official. There has been a change in interest rates. We're going to talk about the dangers and what's actually happened yesterday and what it's going to do to the property market. Stay tuned.
I'm the ringleader, so listen up.
Good morning.
Hey, how are you?
I'm so good. How are you?
Good, Billy Bob. Big topic.
We're
Big
talking
topic.
interest rates. Everyone's talking about interest rates at the moment, but not what you expect. I'm having buyers come through the open home saying prices are going down, interest rates are still going up. Not true. Not true.
So, 14 rate rises.
Yeah, we
The
saw 5
first
last year.
half saw 5 last year. The first half of the rate rises, we saw the market actually come down a little bit. The shock and awe stunned people. The
Yep.
second half of the rate rises, we saw the property market perform well and go back in black. So it went into the red, went down the first half, it went back in black, it came back up in the second half. The big question now is what is it going to do? What are the rates going to do? What is she going to do?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we had some breaking news from our lending guru, Zach at Shore Financial yesterday to say there is light at the end of the tunnel. Banks are starting to come to the party now, and rates should be starting to come back down, maybe even sooner than most expected. So certainly by mid-year, we're expecting to have some positive news, whereby rates are starting to certainly come back down. They've definitely stabilized. I think people have come to get comfy with where things are right now and where people can afford to lend. They are just taking that money with both hands and spending. And I think anyone with their pre-approval now is pretty certain that there's light at the end of the tunnel, and it's not going to be too hard once they've made that purchase. They know what they're getting themselves in for.
So we've had probably 6 months of talk now, guys, about the rates going down. Yesterday was an iconic day for me because it was 2 banks officially moved their fixed rates downwards. We haven't seen that happen in donkeys. So it is literally the light at the end of the tunnel. Most importantly, is there going to be more of the light? And most importantly, what's the effect is it going to have on our property prices when you're trying to buy and trying to get out there?
Yeah, spot on. So basic and premium home loan fixed, 1 year's decreased by 0.15%, and 2 to 3 years decreased by 0.20%. And then you've got investment for all LVR tiers, basic and premium home loan fixed, 1 year, 0.10%, 2 and 3 years decreased by 0.20%. So that's big. And we asked which banks that was. Bank Australia have moved, Macquarie did last week, and there's others to follow. So that's really, I guess, going to set a bit of a precedent in the loan market for people to follow on this trend.
Now, is it really, are people going to get excited and actually make a move more so? How do you reckon that that's going to change the property market? Is this good news for inflation and other stuff like that? Is it can it only be taken as good news? Is there any bad news?
Well, what I was going to ask you, Mark, in your many years of property career experience, is it needed? Is it needed right now? Prices have actually continued to strengthen since rates have gone up in May 2022. It's only got better from there, really. Is it needed right now?
Look, something that is a really hard thing to measurement in the property market is sentiment, and however that sentiment is in that marketplace, whether it's really positive or whether it's really bad. That's the most important thing. So I think that in terms of changing people, I think the sentiment's already built in when you expect or sort of know in your heart of hearts that rates going to come down. I
Yeah.
think that's positive sentiment for the marketplace. So it's already being factored in. The fact
Yep.
that we have officially seen these rates yesterday, I think it's just adding to that sentiment of like, yep, I know what I'm doing. Is it going to change the probability, you know, in terms of mathematics and saving money? Is it really going to help people buy a property or pay a mortgage? Probably not. It's just not enough of a swing. But it's definitely going to assist with that sentiment of what people are going, I knew it was going to come down. Yeah, it's coming down. So it's just a really nice trajectory for the interest rates to be heading in. And I think that
Yeah.
sentiment, beautiful thing.
Yeah. So what do you think, this is just a one-off decrease, or what have you seen in the past? Has it followed suit with a couple more after, once they've assessed the impact?
Yeah, look, I think it's a bit like property prices. It never sort of levels. Um, it heads in a positive direction or it heads in a negative direction. Um, but I think the momentum to change that direction is iconic. So when that property market swung from going down to going up, that's a huge thing. It's like slowing down a freight train, and I think with the interest rates moving from an upward trajectory to a downward trajectory, which it looks like they have, I think that's a really big thing. So you know, people, I think the direct reaction to that positiveness is people are just going to feel a bit more comfortable actually making a purchase. They're not going to feel like they're doing something silly, and it's going to
Yeah.
bring comfort.
Yeah, really well said. So is that do you think the start of adding more fuel on the flame for prices? Are we in for another hot run this year?
Look, don't forget they're high. They're, from what we've experienced in the last 5 years, we regard them as high anyway. So
Yeah.
I don't think it's dangerous where it's going to be adding, octane on, fuel on top of the fire. I think it's probably a needed thing.
Needed thing. I agree with Elise. It's definitely happening faster than the market anticipated. I think everyone had mid-year penciled in the calendar. I think, and all you can go off is what's in the newspapers, what's what you're being told. Until a bank starts implementing these changes, that's all you've got to go off. But it's got to be expected now that if there's 1, 2, 3 leaders starting to do it in the marketplace, others got to follow quicker.
Yeah, and I think people, what a lot of people don't know is where the money goes. I actually don't know the answer to that either, but um, when the Reserve Bank has been putting these rates up, or when the Reserve Banks adjusts levels these rates out, or puts these rates down, the bank actually makes the margin on top of that.
Yeah.
That's the margin. That's where the bank makes profit. So the bank has the Reserve Bank money. They have the cost of their funds, and then they have a profit built into that cost of their funds. So I think, it's not like the banks have tripled their margins. They haven't. That's remained the same. They're always clipping that little percentile,
Yeah.
but it's not. It's good fat that's been built in, and it's been enough to. It's definitely they're blaming having to do it on inflation, and it's worked. So they've tried to curb inflation, and they have curbed inflation. So it's not job done, but it's certainly, it's doing what they wanted it to do.
It's well on track. I guess on the flip side, when rates start to come back down, it's a bit of an easier equation to work out that more funds are sitting in purchasers' pockets, less is going outbound on the mortgage. It will hopefully ease a bit of pressure there.
You know what? At 2%, we were eating cake.
Yeah.
It wasn't right. It wasn't where interest rates should be worldwide nationally, anything. It was wrong on so many levels. So I think people can get that out of their head. We're not going there. But what is sort of the right interest rate? For a good balanced economy and market. Yeah, that's the next question. Where it's going to end up. What's Lisa got to say? She's very vocal this morning.
Supply is still low, demand is still very high, interest rates coming down, immigration up, perfect storm for a red hot market. There you go.
Yeah, it's bloody true. And guys, this is a live show, so always remember, if you've got any questions, type them in. We're here to answer them. Or if you're on any topics covered by us, let us know. We're always searching for the latest and greatest topic to help people out. Billy, I think that's a show.
I agree. Have a good day, and take that as good news. Hopefully, interest rates coming down sooner than we anticipated.
Big time. Big time.
It's great.
See you
Have a
later.
good day.
See you guys.
See ya.